Hello, my name is Sarah. Today we're starting our Sims 4 modding tutorials. I'm sorry for the delay. I've been saying it for a really long time. I'm going to do this. I just never really sat down and did them. But yeah, a little background. I started modding in August 2022. I know it's not a really long time, but it's quite hard to find anything really online about modding or certain things of like how to do them. So that's why I'm starting these tutorials. It's very simple, very basic, very beginner friendly. I'm still struggling with a few things every now and then, so tips are always welcome, like how to do things easier. Also, let me know in the comments down below if there's anything that you would like a tutorial for. So yeah, let's dive into episode 1. What is today's this video? I wanted to create this video as a video that you can reference back to for other modding tutorials, because not every video I'm going to explain why we're using this program, what this program is, etc. So that's what I'm doing today in this video. So this is just a video to get back to for other tutorials in the future. So to start off with, here we are on my desktop. You see quite a few files. Yeah, so I'm just going to explain what these files are, and everything that I'm explaining here you can download in the link down below. So yeah, go have a look. So first of all, it is very important, download Sims 4 Studio. There is currently a new version. It's the Star, I think, Star, let me go and check. Yeah, so here we are in the Sims 4 Studio download page. This is the latest version. This one includes all the infant stuff from the latest patch. So download this one, but also if you wanted to use Sims 4 Studio wishes, that's also fine. This one also works for any mods that are not infant related. But if you're going to be working on infant stuff, definitely check out Star. However, this one is still in beta version, so it's there are a few bugs, like the milestone things. It's still a bug, doesn't work at the moment. Yeah, so that is for the Sims 4 Studio. Then we also have the Mod Constructor, and honestly we'll be using that so often we'll be using the Mod Constructor. So we can download it here from, oh my god, Zerbu. I think Zerbu. I don't know. Okay, I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly. I have thanked him online so many times for creating this. It's perfect. So yeah, definitely download this. The latest version is, I think, 10, as I see, beta 10. So yeah, just click on it and then it will give you a download. But definitely, we'll be using it a lot. I cannot live without it. It's so easy. It's so good to work with. Then next under that, I have a Sim4 pronoun file. And if I open this file, it will just give me like the easy shortcuts for how the Sim pronoun system works. So when you're typing something and you want to say she, I just go in here and then copy it and then paste it in the mod. So yeah, I just did she, he, but this includes they or everything else that they that you can customize. This, however, I think only works for English mods or the English game, because I think the other languages don't have the Sim pronoun update yet, but I can be wrong about that. But yeah, very handy to keep that. Then next we have the XML injector. Let me open that. And that honestly we'll be using often as well for, you'll mainly be using this for interactions on the phone, the computer, on Sims, on other things. Any interaction basically that creates a script file, you can use the XML injector. There are lots of mod creators that use this. So people, if they download your mods, they will have to download the XML injector as well. But because so many modders already used it, most people already have the XML injector installed. So it's very easy. And what this basically does, it makes sure that you don't have to create a script file. So there's just less chance of broken mods, and it's perfect. I love it. I use it. It works really great. We will also dive into a later episode where we go into and dive deep into the XML injector and how it works and how to add the interactions to this system, because it can be quite confusing. It took me quite a while to figure out how this works, but yeah, it works. It's perfect. I love it. And next we have the mood pack here on and for the mood pack, it's created by Lumpinu. I don't know how to pronounce it. I'm so freaking sorry if I pronounce your names not correctly, but she basically has created so many different moods, like being in pain or have anxiety. So if you want to use that, that's possible. I used it for my odd jobs. I currently haven't. For the next odd job update, I've removed it because I didn't think it was really necessary, but there are quite a few mods that do use it. So yeah, I've just left it here, and we will dive into another tutorial on how to use it, to how to add a different mode into the game, into your buff. Then next we have this UI texture squasher, and honestly, I'm not going to dive into that right now. Once we will be using it, we will dive into it. But basically what it does, it's easier for you to do like a UI edit, and that's when you would use that. Then next, for the other files that are here on my desktop, we have the mods updates and the mods. Mods updates is currently just a file for me for all the mods that I still I'm working on updating from the latest patch. And then the mods folder are currently just all the mods that I use in game, because it's very important when you are testing your mods that you're currently working on, that other mods from other creators are not in your current Sims 4 mods folder. So here I've opened my mods folder, and these are basically the only mods that I use while testing my mods. The reason for that is just because it's easier testing, and I know some mods don't cause any issues or problems with the mods that I'm always testing. So for me, it's my own phone UI mod, because I don't like the Sims 4 phone interface. So that's why I use it. I know it won't cause any problems with any mods that I create. The MCC, of course, it's easy for me to test. Then we have Better Build By. I just leave it in there. I don't know, it won't cause any issues. The UI cheats, I cannot test my mods without the UI cheats. It needs to be in there. Then we have the XML injector. Very important if you use that in your mods, to also put it in your mods folder while testing your mods. I left my cast background. I left the missing plumb bomb. I have the more cast columns. TMX better exception. Very, very important. Honestly, I cannot test my mods without that, because it will give you an error for your mod, and you can easily fix it and see what the problem is. It just takes so much less time in testing mods. Then I have my own icon CC and an infant pillow and a mood override, just because I know they won't cause any issues, and I need those in my game. So okay, let's now dive into the game and see how I have set up my game. So here we are in game. Let me say load game and give you a look at my games. I don't have that many save files, but I basically have a main save file. What my main save file is for playing The Sims with all the mods that I normally use. Then we have the mod test file, and that one is very important. This is a save file where you can just test all your mods. So the reason I have this is so that I won't break my main save file. I won't break my main save. And if I break my mod test, it's not the end of the road. It's not. I can just create a new save file. So yeah. So here I opened my Sims 4 mods folder and then the mods folder that's on my desktop. So basically what I do, I have copies of these files in here, and I just drag, like, just go in and take all of those, drag them in here, and then I would say skip files. And now I'm ready to play The Sims like I would normally. So it takes a while. I have a lot of mods that I use. And then if I decide I want to go and work on my mods, I just do that and drag it in here and say skip these files. But yeah, now I basically just have only the files that I use for mod testing, and that's just how I do it. Okay, so now we have The Sims 4 Studio open, and I'm going to do a quick overview of how The Sims 4 Studio works and all the settings and everything that you might need to know before you start creating your first mod. So I'm currently using The Sims 4 Studio Star, but if you're using The Sims 4 Studio Wishes, it's also fine. Or if you're on Mac, you're using the other Sims 4 Studio version, it's fine, they all look the same. So yeah. First of all, we're just leaving file alone, but for settings, make sure that the sim path and the Sims 4 documents, that they are to the current game. So when your game updates, Sims 4 Studio will automatically update with the new files, the new tuning files, the new string files, anything really new that has been updated in the Sims 4. So you don't have to continuously update the Sims 4 Studio, it will just update automatically once you update the game. So before we dive further into this, I just want to say it's very important to have your creator name written down here. Also, these 4 buttons that you see here, I'm not going to go over these. I'm not a CC creator. So now we are just going to go into tools, and into tools, I'm going to explain what everything is. But first, I'm just going to go and say create empty package. Now, it's very important when you create an empty package, or any mod that you have a file, anything that you're working on, that it is in like one place. So for now, I'm just gonna go and call this xosdr underscore test, and it will create a package file. Now we are in dark mode. It's kind of frustrating me, so I'm going to go back into light mode. This is basically the place where you'll be working on. Most of the times, if you are not working with the Mod Constructor, this is where you'll be working. There are some other programs, but I'm not familiar with the other programs, so I'm just going to stick with Sims 4 Studio and the Mod Constructor for all these tutorials, because that's just what I use. So for now, I'm going to go into Tools, and I'm going to go and say Extract Tuning. And these are all the tuning files that are in-game. There are a lot of tuning files. And tuning files are basically the files that make your sim go do something, like an interaction, or we have aspirations, careers, just like almost anything in game. So I'm gonna go and go in here into interactions, and then we're just gonna go and click on something. Well, let's just click on take a shower. So just gonna use the normal take a shower, and I'm just gonna say add to current package. So like I said before, these are files in game that are in game. If I'm going to change anything in this file right now and then add it to my mods folder, it's going to be an override. So I haven't added a new interaction to the shower. No, I've created a override. To create a new interaction, I'm not diving into how to create a new interaction, but to make sure it's a new function to the game, a new interaction, we have to make sure that the tuning file is unique. And we can of course go in here and click on the numbers, whatever, and there are lots of pluses in there, that doesn't work. Click on the numbers and do that, right? Easy peasy. I got a new unique tuning idea, but this is not the best way to do it. The best way to do it is we go into tools and we go and say hash generator. And now we have a hash generator out here. So here we have text. And to make sure you start with your creator username, and then I do an underscore, but I've seen people use the double dots. But I use an underscore, and then I type in whatever this is. So for example, we are working now on a shower, take shower interaction. I'm just gonna say xosdr, take shower. It's unique. So now I have these other like numbers. While I was typing this, you could see that the numbers changed. Let me put like a number behind it. 9. Oh, numbers have changed again. You see? So now it's very important that we take the F and the 6-4 and, you know, select the whole thing, and then we're just saying copy. I'm using Control C, and then I'm going here into instance and say Control V. Now the numbers will have changed. Most of the time it changes when you click on another interaction that are underneath. But how we can also do it is click on the mode here and then go to decimal, and then take those numbers and place those in here. Now it's also very important that the numbers in this S file over here are changed. Okay, so only something I figured out not long ago is if you hold down Control and you click on this, it will automatically select everything, and then you can just do V and the whole thing is changed. So now what we have done is created a unique interaction to the shower. Basically, it's exactly the same as taking a shower. Also, this is not how to create interactions, because there are some other things that we need to do for the interaction to work. But this is just a to show you how important it is to create a unique tuning idea and to make sure that the instance is different. We can also name it different. I like to name it the same as how I named the text in the hash generator. So now it says xosdr underscore take a shower. Okay, so that was just a quick overview of how important it is to use the hash generator. And let me just leave it there. Oh, it will remove. Okay, so now I'm just gonna go into the game file cursor and show you what that looks like. Let me open this up, make it bigger. So this is basically anything in The Sims that has nothing to do with the tuning. Anything. Like, we have cast parts. Where are they? Here, cast parts. If we click on that, it will show you all the cast items in game and whatever tags and stuff they have in here. We will dive into that in the future as well. Also, we have where are the DTS images over here? And these are basically all the images in game. It takes a while to load because there's so many images. So these images are like for the buffs or other things that your game has. Like any image in game is in here. And there's so many. And it's quite difficult to figure out how to find the image. So in the description down below, there will be a link to where I've downloaded all my images. So I also have a document file on my computer that just has all the images from in-game. Like if I click auto retreat, we see all the images, and this is just easier for me to find the images that I want than to go in here and look for all these images. There are like thousands of images in here to find the exact image that you want. So yeah. Let me close that. Okay, so next on the tools list, we have our string lookup. And our string lookup is basically all the text. Every text in game is in here. And there's so much text. So much. And the key, that is all their unique codes. So you have to put that in your game to make sure the text is correct. I'll show you what I mean. So we are here still in the shower interaction. So let me find the text that says take a shower. Okay, so I scrolled all the way down almost, but here we are, and here we have, it says display name, and then we see these numbers, right? And behind it says take shower. So this is basically the display of what it will say in game. So I'm going to go again and say control. I click that, I copy that, and then going into the string table lookup, I can just place that in here. And then I gotta get rid of the 0 and the X, and then I say enter, and now we have that interaction. Sorry, not the interaction. Now we have that the text that says take a shower. So I'm going to take this and then say add to current package, and now something crazy happened. I'm going to close this for now. So you see all these different languages. Yeah. That's all the different languages. If you want to translate a mod, I will create another video about that. But to go quickly over it, you can just translate here the language that you want to translate. For now, by the way, I'm going to delete all of those for a second, because the overview, I can't deal with it. So this is the text area where we create new text, and we can go and say edit items. And then here is the text that we just copied. If we would change this text to take a shower today, I don't know. And so now, what we have done now, if we click save, the text that will go on the interaction take a shower, it will now say take a shower today. That's what it will say. But if you are creating your own text, it is again very important. Take the oh my god, yeah, it pisses me off. I cannot use two things at the same time. It's really annoying. But yeah, take the hash generator, and then the fnv32. Oh, we're gonna go back into hexadecimal. I don't even know how to pronounce that. Sorry. Go in here, and in the fnv32, you grab those numbers. After you type in whatever you want to type in there, you go into here and say edit, and then you put in that number, and now you have your unique number again. Copy this, make sure you keep it copied, and then you click save. Now to go back into here, find that interaction, the text. Sorry, I keep saying interaction, but it's just the text. So here we are, and it says display name, and now we just control click that again, and we say paste. Make sure to add the 0 and the X to this. So now we will say take shower. What did we do today? Oh yeah, we gotta edit this ourselves today. So now this interaction, like, let's just continue imagining we created a new interaction, and now it will say take a shower today as a new text on top of the shower. If you click the shower, yeah, of course this is not how it works. This is just a overview of how The Sims 4 Studio, what every button does. So yeah, okay. Now the next step would be, if you've created your own text, is to click on the string table, go into tools, go into modding, and then click copy string tables to all languages. So what this does is just, it copies exactly what you've created here in the English version to any other language. So if you had something translated, it's gone now. It's finished. Poof, gone. But yeah. That's just an easy way that when people download your mod that is in a different language, that they can still have the interactions, oh my god, the text of the interactions, excuse me, in English, and then they can decide themselves if they want to translate the strings. Again, there will be another tutorial about that. For now, I'm just going to delete the other languages. To continue, what do we have? The hash generator, yeah. The color palette, I'm sorry. The color palette, I never really use that. Create an empty package, we'll create an empty package like we did in the beginning. And clear thumbnail cache, I never really used that, so I'm assuming it clears the thumbnail cache. Okay. So if you go down here into modding, there is again a lot of different options, but honestly the only one you will really be using is the copy string tables to all languages. Anything else I never really use. Like, there lots of them are for CAS and other things. And okay, so we are almost finished here. This tutorial is getting a bit long. So here we are in the content management, and here we can merge package files. I honestly do not recommend using this. I never use it. It can leave a it can become a little bit chaotic. So yeah, I know people use it because if you create different package files and then actually you want everything eventually to become one package file, then it's easy to use that. But I copy and paste. That's how I do it the old-fashioned way. Okay, I do not trust the merge packages. I don't know why I don't trust it. I just never use it. And I'm assuming a merge packages is just a merge the packages. So as simple as that. So then we have the batch fixes, and these just fix like certain things that were bugs in game, and they've added it in here. So for example, like now the latest patch has broken all the default eye colors or all the ICC, and then you can just easily click here and then it will fix it and add the eye colors to the infants as well. Then objects, I know there are few, like I've said before, I'm not a CC creator, so I just never really use it. Screenshot manager, oh, how cute. Shows you apparently the screenshots that you have in game. Then my library, I do use that, and I use that for the styled looks, to create your own styled looks, but we will dive into that into a styled looks tutorial. And yeah, that's basically it. Then again, it's very important after you create any mod to make sure to say save, and it will save your mod. Then here we have the add button where we can add all sorts of stuff that we want into our mod, sorry. These are all empty files, so you will have to create all these texts that you see here. You will have to do that all yourself. Duplicate will just duplicate this file, and then you have to make sure to give it a unique instance, and again that you do that with the hash generator. Delete will delete. Batch import and batch export is also something that we'll probably be using, but it'll be for another video while we'll be using it, because it just exports this line basically, or if you select both, it will export both, and then you can import it into another package file. It's basically like the merge package files, but you're doing it manually, and I just prefer to use it that way. Then we also have here export and import. Honestly, I never really use it for the files. I use it, however, for icons, because then I export the icon that I want to use. The icon with that I mean the DST. Let me go into game file cruiser, and let's say add to current package file, close that. So here I have this file, and now it will give you the correct like sizing of what it will look like in game. So now you can easily just export it, change it into Photoshop or whatever other program you're using, and then once you're done you can click import and import it. Again, very important, make sure the instance file is different, otherwise any buff in this case that has this image will change to your image that you created. So that's why it's very important to always change the instance, the numbers, and again you do that with the hash generator. So yeah, now I am just going to delete everything. Yeah, the short key is the delete button on your keyboard, and now I'm just gonna go and say save, and save this for future modding tutorials. I'll be using this file most likely. So now we have finished a very long overview of the Sims 4 Studio. We're gonna go and dive into the Mod Constructor version 5 beta 10 overview, and we're just gonna have a look at the buttons and stuff and how the interface looks. I did realize I was still using beta 9, so we're just gonna go and download this together. The link is down below. So just let me just open that up. You click on the Mod Constructor version 5 beta 10 and just click on this one over here and then just download. It's as easy as that. So here we are. I'm going to double click, open it and say extract. Then I'm going to just extract it in the downloads folder for now. Okay, so now the Mod Constructor version 5 is extracted. I'm just gonna go in here and drag it to my desktop. Okay, what just happened? Everything just... okay, whatever. Just close that. Now, opening this. Why we're so big. Okay, we're gonna go scroll down until it says Constructor 5. Open it. When you do it for the first time, your computer might ask you to, like, is this safe, you know? Yes, it is safe. It's 100% safe. I use it all the time. I'm obsessed with it. Love it. Okay, perfect thing to mention, by the way, like, I just updated the Mod Constructor, and still we see here all these odd jobs files. Don't mind, no, it's mods I'm working on. But yeah, we see all these files over here. It is because here in documents, it creates its own file the first time you use it, and it will just have all your projects in here. So it will remember your projects every time you update it. So yeah, very important, again, like the previous Sims 4 Studio tutorial, write down your creator name. Okay, and then you could just write down whatever mod it is and say create mod. For now, I'm just going to open my test mod, which is basically just a file where it tests anything. Okay, so now you've created your mod or opened it. There is nothing to see really. The only thing that we see here are advanced filters, report bug, add element, and export package. Export package will mean if you click that, the current mod that you've been working on exports as a package, and you can open it in Sims 4 Studio if you want to, or you can just drag it into your mods folder and test it out. Yeah, we will not be using the advanced filter or report bug. Is very important. If you find something that doesn't work, you click on that, it will bring you to the Mod Constructor, the website thing where you just download it from, and you can report a bug. Very important if you find something that doesn't work. Okay, let me just click on add elements, and now we have all the different things that we can see out here are all different things that we can be working on. So let me just make this a little bit longer so everything's on the same page. We have action triggers, aspiration category, aspiration track, careers, preferences, preference category, and so on. Lots of things that we can be working on. Make sure the experimental are experimental, and it might not work if you are trying to do something. What I've did notice previously is the super interactions. Adding a interaction to the computer, it did not work for me. However, adding an interaction to the phone did work for me. But then I changed stuff around and used the XML injector, and we'll be going on over that for another tutorial. But yeah. Now we also see the show all button here, and it will literally show anything that we can change. Let me just unclick that because it's not really necessary when you're just starting out. It's more of a advanced option that you can choose. So for now, let's just click on preference, I'm thinking. So the element name is now preference, but I definitely recommend adding your own name to it, because if you're doing multiple preferences for the game, it will all say preference. Like, let me show you. We have preference, add another element, add another preference. So now it says 2 preferences out here, and it's just frustrating. Like, you don't really know which one is which. Also, if you hover over it, it will say preference 2 and just preference. So what we're doing, if this happened to you, if you didn't do the element thing, you can easily fix it out here and click on this element settings, and then you can rename it. So I'm just renaming it preference, I don't know, cooking is the first thing that came in my mind. I copy that, paste it out here, and do a spacing between that and say update, and now it has updated to preference cooking. Why did I also change the bottom one from preference to preference cooking is because if you open it in the Sims 4 Studio, the name will now be preference cooking and not just preference, what can be very confusing if you're going from the Mod Constructor and then into the Sims 4 Studio. More about this later in another tutorial when we'll be using the Mod Constructor and we'll be using the Sims 4 Studio at the same time. So now for this one, it will still say Sims 4 preference. So I'm just gonna go and I don't know, my mind's blank. Okay, I don't know, paper. It's the first thing that came to my mind. I know it's not a preference, a really logical thing, but I'm just doing that. Okay, so now it's like preference cooking and preference paper. As you might have already seen up here, it will say preference. If I just unclick those and then click on them again, we will see the preference cooking and preference paper. So anything that's open will go up here into tabs and it will just continue. So I do recommend once you're done with something, close it. Otherwise it can become very chaotic above here. But if you like to refer back to it, leave it open. You can also just drag it and then whoop, drag it next to it. So I don't want this video to be too long, so I'm not going to go over how to do all of this. We will go over that once we are starting to create preferences. This was just to show you what it looks like. But yeah, like I've said before, there are so many different elements that we can add to the game, different things. So what is also very important to mention is that the Mod Constructor does create its unique codes compared to what we did in the Sims 4 Studio. Is we took a tuning file, the take the shower tuning file, and we added it to our package, and we basically started to create an override if we didn't change the tuning idea. So this the Mod Constructor will create its own tuning idea, so nothing will be a override. So yeah, this is basically a quick little overview of the Sims 4 Mod Constructor. There are so many things that we can do, so many stuff. So yeah, I just want to say, like, leave a comment down below of why you want a tutorial for. This was just a quick overview of to show you how everything works. In the next episode, we will definitely dive into creating our own very first mod. So yeah, stay tuned for the next episode and subscribe if you want to have more tutorials, and let me know in the comments down below what do you want a tutorial about. So yeah, okay. Bye.